that you want, for all that you believe. It's right to fight for what we want, to live the way we please. As long as we have done our best, then no one can do more.
Hello there, welcome to the Flushing Bloke podcast. Oh, your name has slipped my mind again. Let's meet the plucky girl assistants. I'm Siobhan, by the way, hello. We have Retta. We have Dr. Sinister. Are you chewing, boy?
Mr. Flibble's very cross.
Oh, no, he'll clean up the mess.
Oh, crap, he brought the penguin puppet out.
That's the mean Plucky.
The Brian.
Hello.
The smart Plucky.
And whatever that is down in the corner.
The pretty Plucky.
Right, that thing, otherwise known as Spanky. So yes, we made it. Apologies for no two fan dinosaurs on Friday. I had driver issues and I couldn't stream. It's all sorted now. Otherwise, Brian would be doing this and we'd all be talking American. So yes,
Hurricane.
Sinister and I will be back on this Friday, with episodes 3 and 4 of Doctor Who and the Silurians.
It'll be a good Friday.
It will be a good Friday. Yes.
Yes, it will.
Because it's Sweet Zombie Jesus weekend.
We don't seem to be streaming yet.
Yes, no, we're streaming.
You better be respectful and worship Zombie Jesus by coloring some eggs and eating chocolate and colored.
I'm just going to go on record and say that Jesus was not a zombie.
That's how you worship Zombie Jesus.
He was not a zombie. He was a lich. And it's high time that we got this taken care of.
I'm sorry. All right, let's be definitive. Lich Jesus must be worshipped with the chocolate and the eggs and the coloring and the jelly beans and so forth. This is what Lich Jesus demands.
Mm-hmm. He demands a sacrifice of chocolate bunnies and
sacrifice of
jelly
chocolate
beans.
Bunnies. That's correct. You must sacrifice the chocolate bunny.
Now, you see,
they're the only thing that can harm Lich Jesus. That's why they have to be sacrificed.
I've been discussing this bunny thing with English friends, such as Dr. Sinister, just there. Adam Purcell, he's another one. And we worked out that when we were kids, there was no Easter Bunny, because it was all concentrated on chicks. We used to have to make chicks in primary schools and whatever. And it was the colours, the green for the legs and the yellow bodies symbolised spring, the new growth and daffodils and whatever. But we didn't have an Easter Bunny. I think this is another American thing that's infected us.
There is no Easter Bunny because I killed him and ate him.
Oh, that's all right then. That's that problem solved.
Yes, but the Easter Bunny rises every spring.
Just like Lich Jesus, yes.
Yes.
I haven't caught him yet this year. I'm still looking. Don't worry.
Okay.
Eyes peeled, gun up, loaded.
Hey, any bunny that can do B&E on this many houses each year, I give it.
He went to the Santa Claus School of B&E, and he's just down for the count.
There's just one thing. Sorry, Retta, yes?
I was going to say, the Easter Bunny first arrived in America in the 1700s with German immigrants who settled in Pennsylvania and transported their tradition of egg-laying hare called Osterhase or Osterhase.
Blame the Pennsylvania Dutch.
That's brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. No, the only one of those things that I think I really think of is the Great Pumpkin. The Great Pumpkin, I believe in.
Well, of course. I fought it several times. I've soloed him.
In Lich Jesus.
No.
Are very good friends.
Linus's Great Pumpkin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've soloed him.
Yes.
He's not actually in City of Heroes.
That's his avatar. It's digital now. Right. It's all connected.
Okay, I haven't played that game.
We will explain to you at one point how the Pantheon works. Don't worry. You'll catch up.
Well, you obviously got Bod the Father at the top.
Mm-hmm.
Then Yuffie the Storyteller, then Mr. Claypole, who's Holy a Ghost, and that's the Holy Trinity. After that, it goes down. Right, so yes, next Friday, 9 p.m, 4 p.m, Sinister and I have been looking at Doctor Who and the Doctor Who and the Silurians and the Cave Monsters. I forgot to say it first time round.
Is it your Silurathon or your Eosinetheme theme?
Eosinetheme theme.
Oh, I sense dissension here.
There's dissension. We have a schism.
There's been a schism.
Oh, dear. Also, some good news. We're doing a Nigel Neal special. It's coming up to the centenary of his birth. And BBC Radio 4 Extra are doing a fair amount of stuff to celebrate it. There's some good stuff coming up. A documentary by Toby Hadoke. The version of the Stone tape that was done for audio by Matthew Graham, who's the guy behind Life on Mars, Brian. As it stands...
So I'm not listening to this one, huh?
The Quatermass guy, right?
Yes. Yep. However, we're not going to be looking at that. We're going to be looking at... and this will probably be on the 1st of September. 1st of September? What? 1st of May. We're going to be looking at the year of the Sex Olympics. We're going to do it decade by decade, basically. 1984 from the 50s. The year of the Sex Olympics from the 60s. The Stone tape from the 70s. And then I'd like to do Toby's version of The Road. But there's a couple of things holding me back about that. One... it's a case of whether it's going to be on BBC Sounds on time, and I think it is. But B, it's going to be a bit difficult to review because Toby's going to be with us. He's joining us for our Nigel Neal special, the granddaddy of British TV sci-fi. So, and the reason we're doing it like this is there's certain themes that keep cropping up. And like I say, when you watch the year of the Sex Olympics, it's incredibly before its time. It is prescient. It's scary. So, yes. So we've got all that to look forward to. But before then, we've got a couple of weeks. Let's go and do some... No, we haven't done the runaround. Spanky, how's your week been?
And stellar.
Okay. Hardly picked that up at all. Something about stellar. Don't know.
Stellar. My week was stellar.
Ah, good. Right.
My week was stellar.
Right.
Because I spent it trying to do astronomical things.
Come on, smile. You got lovely new hair. It's wonderful. That's better. How was your week?
It was fine. I'm in the middle of a 4-day break from work.
Oh, cool.
Finally. Where I'm not dealing with, like some sort of emergency or sadness. So I'm enjoying the time away and just recharging.
Quite right, too. Thoroughly approve. Sin?
Hello.
Hello. I know that at least one time this week you had a breakfast. How's the rest of your week been?
I got some new Sonics this week.
You did? Have you got them with you?
Mm.
Would you like to show the class?
This first one I got.
Ah!
Is it your color?
And is it proper lip? No, it wouldn't be proper lipstick, would it? Because it's got to light up.
Well, believe it or not, it has been made from a genuine lipstick holder.
Nice.
Does it make a noise?
No, this one doesn't.
That's what the
do you know how much the character options Sarah Jane Sonic lipsticks go for on eBay?
I wouldn't have a clue.
I'll say $250.
130 quid.
Damn.
This didn't cost me that much. Anyway, that's the first one.
This is from the Sarah Jane Adventures, Retta.
Actually, I think that translates into $250.
I've got an Area of Darkness.
Second one that's arrived this week.
Well, that's quid. No, it'd be 170.
Are you ready?
Yep.
EU, it would be.
Oh, I know what that is. See if Brian's up on his game here.
That's the Sonic Lance from the Sixth Doctor.
Brilliant.
Correct.
Brilliant. Now be more specific.
Oh, which story, Brian?
Yeah, which story? It only appeared in one.
I could give a shit.
For those that wish to know, it's Attack of the Cybermen.
And lastly,
yes.
This is the one I am most excited about.
Oh, most exciting. Oh, Jackson Lake sonic screwdriver.
The governor's sonic screwdriver.
Wow.
Makes a noise.
Makes a noise. It's sonic.
Makes a noise.
Yeah, I did a search on I did a search on eBay for vintage screwdrivers and found this. It's yeah.
Fair enough.
There you go.
I've got one more screwdriver to come, and then my collection is complete, and it is on the way.
Excellent.
It's coming from North Carolina.
Oh wow, really? Where in North Carolina?
I don't know.
Charlottesville, Hickory.
Charlottesville, I think.
The Research Triangle.
Look at me. Look at me knowing a little bit about North Carolina.
Yeah, it's Romana's sonic screwdriver, and it will hopefully
one at a time, please. One at a time. Sin.
The last one is Romana's sonic screwdriver, and then my little collection of sonic screwdrivers is complete.
You need to get a display case for those.
No, it doesn't have room for a display case.
I do need a display case for them.
This is a man who has a separate garage.
Of course, my pride and joy.
Yes, which has some serious heft to it.
Heft is good.
Right, so
in here as well.
Oh, that's useful.
Jamie Dodgers.
Made of rubber though.
Oh, I bought the real thing this weekend.
And do you still have any?
I don't know. They went all to Jess.
Right.
I got my psychic paper.
How dare you?
Oh, I love that joke.
Oh, that's good stuff right there. Yeah.
Okay.
A piece of psychic paper in their wallet to convince people of,
The Brian, how's your week been?
My week has been a week from hell.
Oh, I love it when you say that.
Every single day has been a hair on fire emergency at work. So I enjoyed this weekend a lot. I needed this weekend.
Yeah, I know, because our games master turned up last night for the RPG, and he didn't know what we'd done last. So, if he didn't know, how the hell were we?
We did last night.
We didn't do anything.
Greta remembered that the GM did it. He's rubbish. He is absolute shit as a GM.
So did you guys do anything?
Nope.
Well, good. I didn't miss anything.
You missed nothing.
Yeah, that went out the window. To be fair, I still had a load of things to catch up on for tonight's show, and Adam is the same for Monday Night Staggering Stories, so the extra time was very useful, to be fair. My week, what's my week been like?
Any more Fanscape?
Not sure.
Ooh, that sounds perplexing.
Yeah, I got a phone message this afternoon from the housing manager. And whilst it says that he's passed it on and they're coming out, and the tree people are coming out, I've got this horrible feeling he has forgotten to include the third tree that needs to come down. And I don't want to have to go through all this again just to get the extra tree to come down before I can have my platform. I want to use my garden this summer. It would be lovely if I was able to. So, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
Now, have you been planting any strange plants in your garden?
No, I don't do green stuff.
You haven't gotten anything from Mr.
From Mr. Pringles?
Mr. Pringle?
No.
I hear he does an excellent export business.
So I gather. But we will come to that. We will come to that. So tonight, what are we looking at? Well, a webcam, mostly, and little pictures of them. We're looking at
You're looking at a computer screen, right?
Face the Raven, from Series 9 of the new series, Peter Capaldi. I'm going to be looking at Stranded 4, last part of the Stranded sets. That's Big Finish. We've got Firefly, Shindig, and the more I watch it, the more Kaylee reminds me of Retta. That's Retta, not Ella. And then we're finishing off with Out of the Unknown Come Buttercup Come Daisy, or whatever way around that is, starring Stephen Brennan from Doctor Who fandom. Young Stephen Brennan. Looks and sounds exactly like the bloke in it, which I may very publicly online have told him with a photo, and he agrees. So, fair enough. So, news. The creator of Mr. Ben has died.
Who?
Mr. Ben. It's the cartoon adventures of a Tory MP going through a middle-age crisis.
Okay.
He obviously drops some acid. He goes to this shop. The shopkeeper gives him a fancy dress. Mr. Ben goes into a changing room.
And he's found dead from autoerotic asphyxiation.
That was the episode they didn't show.
Isn't that
the last one, funnily enough?
The Tory MPs? I'm just saying.
It's about this is the norm.
Tory MPs tend to die like that.
Yeah, that's how Tory MPs die. I think it's written into their contracts. Must die by autoerotic asphyxiation, but we'll at least be able to say it.
David Carradine.
Any other news this week? Well, Sinister, myself, and Adam Purcell from Staggering Stories will be at Big Finish Day up in Derby. That's coming up in a couple of weeks, I think, which is going to mean I'm going to have to get up, I imagine, about 3 o'clock in the morning.
Don't bother going to bed.
Well, that's just it. 3 o'clock in the morning is an hour before I go to bed normally. So we'll see how it goes. As it is, Adam's driving back, I'm driving there, so I can at least get a little bit of sleep on the way back, which is nice.
Now, have you worked out the radio? Just wondering.
He pulled the big one on me. He played his nuke. It's a case of, no, I want to use my navigation, my Google Maps, not yours. It's exactly the same, but it doesn't matter because that means his phone's going to be plugged into the car. And, however, I could be sneaky. I could set things up to fuck him up, but I won't do. It would be wrong because that car can do all sorts of interesting things. Ah, dear. The clown hoot is brilliant.
Can't you guys get a PowerPoint adapter with more than one plug? Like I have one for mine. It's plug in the PowerPoint. It's got 2 USB adapters, so you can plug 2 phones in.
I've got a USB port with a charging, which also has a charging surface on the top of the console. There's not much room really in there, but it's ideal for basically. I don't close the lid on it because if I do that, I'll forget my phone and leave it in there. So it's
just a USB port.
USB port and charging plate.
Gotcha.
Underneath, because the console's empty, there's no gearbox. We've got another USB port and a 12-volt charging port of some kind.
The old cigarette lighter.
Yeah, essentially, it's not a cigarette lighter, but yeah.
PowerPoint, right? There you go.
If I'd paid extra, I could have had it. I could have had a USB in the back, but I didn't know that.
Yeah, I remember do a USB
2 USB
in the
ports
PowerPoint
in there,
and leave it.
Which is
that
good.
way, if the wife's in the car, I don't have to fight for a charging slot.
So I'm going to broach this to Sinister now. If we let Adam play his music, there's a very good chance we're going to get William Shatner and Leonard Nimoy. There's also the chance of the Ballads of Sergeant Benton.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Do you really think my car can handle that?
I have no problem with any of this because all of those titles are in my music library already.
And he'll be asleep.
I will be asleep in the back with a pillow.
I'm on my own. I'm going to get no support on the day.
Because I have to get up, although I may have to get up at 5:30 to be picked up. Nobody said I had to stay conscious.
No, that's fair. That is fair. We did the challenge for Hooverville, and I cheated. Just said, I need you to stay awake to keep me awake. And so he did. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Aside from that, oh yes, there's going to be a new Jodie Whittaker audio, which looks very interesting actually.
And her show's next week.
Yes, it's not the Regeneration show. We've told you this.
It's not. I know. I'm very happy about this.
You were a little bit confused.
Stays longer. Well, no, she stays longer now.
Well, yes, you got one more story afterwards,
which
will be in the autumn. I don't think it'll be in November, because it's to celebrate the centenary of the BBC. The BBC. But it's going to be a fun romp. And then, Legend of the Sea Devils, fun romp. The thing at the end of the year, or whatever it is, that's not going to be a fun romp. I think that's going to be emotional.
Will be announcing the new Doctor soon?
They might do it after Legend of the Sea Devils. They might do. But the longer they can keep it close to their chest, the better, as far as I'm concerned. One day I would love it for the Doctor to regenerate, and we didn't know a bloody thing about it. That would be... But it's impossible in today's world. You know? It's... Yeah, but no, there's, I can't remember if it's 10 or 12 audios from the BBC, with a lot of familiar returning faces, or voices anyway, except for Niamh McIntosh. They've recast Madame Vastra. I don't think she was available.
I like her.
Well, Osgood will be in there, Kate Stewart. I don't know what it's about, but what the hell. But it's supposed to be gay as fuck and trans as fuck, according to the Pink News and a quote from the author. So I'm looking forward to that, quite frankly, if only to see and hear the bile and the explosions from the Not My Doctor lot. That will amuse me greatly. Ah, dear. Right, shall we do what we came here for?
Nah.
All right.
What did we come here for?
I don't know.
Yeah, what did we come here for?
I've got to find the right thing now. Hang on. There we go. You ready? You ready? And now, from the worlds of BBC Television's Doctor Who, it's Doctor Who. And a creaky chair. I won't be able to do that on the Nigel Neal special. Oh, that makes me sad.
Well, you could say now from the world of BBC television, it's Nigel Neal.
Yeah, I know, but we've got nothing to go with it.
You're going to have to make something.
Actually, I got a pretty good idea what we could do.
Excuse me one moment, but Anthony would like to see himself on my big TV. So
hello, Anthony!
Hello!
Hello! You're on my big TV now.
How you going?
Is that
millions of people are looking at you?
Millions of people, and you're
the
famous.
Whole planet. You are so famous now.
Well,
goodbye.
Known to
one
the
person
future
possibly.
Historians.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Future historians.
Yes, we haven't said hello to future historians yet. Hello, future
They're
historians.
going to build a statue of you in the future. Watch.
When they start sacrificing people to my carved idol on Mount Rushmore, I will remember you.
Well, not really. You're dead
you know
by
what?
then.
I was speaking with the future stories. They just ignited the eternal flame below that to burn the hearts of your victims. It's going to be great, man. You're going to love it.
If you go so bent as to get your face carved on Mount Rushmore, A, it's probably going to collapse anyway, and B, you know, it's going to take a while.
That is not that which can eternal lie. I'm just saying.
And happy Christmas to you as well.
And I can lie like the best of them for each time.
Right. Bull fub wub 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 wub. What was I going to say? Yes, Big Finish Day. We're talking about this.
Mr. Ben is on Tubi. How about that?
Big Finish Day, I believe, is on the Saturday the 23rd or Saturday the 30th of April. One or the other. I can't remember. Could somebody Google that for me, please? Big Finish Day. Derby.
Finish Day?
We just want the date. I say Sinister, myself, and Adam will be there. But I'm going to let you know who some of the guests are.
23rd.
23rd, thank you. That's when that's going to be. 23rd then, Andrew. What the hell? I can't.
23 April.
It's Lego Luke.
Yeah, but what's he holding?
He's got the power converters from Tashi Station.
He's got blue milk.
Oh,
blue milk. Yes. Yes.
Right, so with at Big Finish Day, amongst many others, they have a selection of doctors. I think Paul McGann's going to be there. I'm not 100%, but I think so. We have, in reverse order, Tim Trelaw, who plays the third Doctor, Michael Troughton, who's now playing the second Doctor, and Stephen Noonan, who's playing the first Doctor. And there is a chance, just a chance, that your favourite auntie, hello, that's me, just in case you needed reminding, may have had a little word with the organiser and asked to be Stephen's chaperone for the day.
Wow.
So I can prove...
So he'll be walking really slow.
Yeah, basically. Thank you very much.
No problem.
You're the first person, probably one of the first person to take the piss out of my walking. Seriously. Everyone else is, okay, you're right. Yep. Good on you. But it does mean that as we're walking around, we'll finally have the Hartnell Bog Off offer on sale. Buy one, get one free. I've already said there's enough of us to make Hartnell 6-packs. So, yeah, that should be fun. I'm looking forward to talking with him. I just hope he doesn't get fed up with me, quite frankly. Mind you, still, he knows what he's in for. He's been watching this. So. And Two Fan Dinosaurs. Right, so... You ever had one of those nights out where you wake up the following afternoon with a head and shakiness and a new tattoo you had no idea where it came from?
The extra head?
No, but I have had to do the coyote no.
I've had to do the double coyote. You know, the coyote is where you have to chew your arm off to get away from your bed partner because they're so hideous. The double coyote is where once you get away, you have to chew your other arm off because you know they're out there looking for a guy with one arm. That's rough.
You educate me every time we speak.
That's true. Yeah. That's how bad my mate selection
what
skills
tattoo
are.
I'd
Just
have.
so you know. How I ended up with the Spankway is a fucking miracle. I don't know.
Go on.
I know what tattoo I'd have
Yes.
if I was going to have a tattoo.
Same here. I know what I'd have.
Except I've just realised that it doesn't actually exist. So I would have a logo of the Dalek Empire, but they don't have a logo.
Yes, they do. It's this strange squiggly thing, which if you squint, it's actually a sort of stylized radio wave transmission thing. And if you squint, it looks like Neri Nahan. But it's on all Dalek products.
Counter?
Sorry?
He's got a rel counter.
A rel counter on your arm?
I could have a rel counter. I've got a rel
He's
counter.
got a
on my
rel
wall.
counter.
There you
on my
go.
wall.
Take a picture and say, I want this on my arm.
Or the Eagle of Atrios.
Oh, that's a very smart looking eagle. That's a very smart... Oh, yes. Yeah, just take along the Armageddon Factor book with you. I want that, please. Just
Trouble
about
is,
Tom and
it looks a little bit Nazi.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah,
However, you're only allowed to have that tattoo if you're prepared to wear the Marshal's jacket with the epaulets.
But how's he going to show off the tattoo then?
That's the whole point. It covers up the Nazism, you see. Hello, Ichi. Hello, Ghost. They're both there being doggies.
O-U-E, and I think I'm going to have...
Love doggies. Look at doggies.
One out.
Do we have any viewers?
Well, according to this, let's read out. Well, there's Brian, there's Retta, there's Sinister, there's Spanky. So let's go through the bots. We'll say hello to the bots. Hello, Lurks. There as always. Little Tough. No idea. Mogul Mail. That couldn't possibly be a bot. Streamlabs is always there for some reason. We Love Marbles, which is a great name. I like that name. If you're real, please say hello in chat. And same as Zombie Wolf 9000. It's the same as the Zombie Easter Bunny, but it's the Woof. It's the Woof.
I have some zombie wolves. I know.
Why do you not surprise me?
No, I've got them right here. They're in a box. I have to open it still.
Zombie wolves. Well, there we go.
Yeah, zombie wolves.
Who knew?
I did.
Right. We're talking about Face the Raven. What should have been Clara's last story. To be fair. Basically, Rigsy from the years before's Flatline, which was a brilliant story, has discovered this tattoo. Can't remember anything from 24 hours ago. Up to 24 hours ago. No idea where it's singing. The thing is, the tattoo is a number, and it's counting down. It's counting down minutes. And so he phones the TARDIS, because you can do that now. And there was a nice little scene, I do remember, of Capaldi going, "Did you give out my number?" Which I thought was quite funny. And we're introduced to the concept of the trap street, which I think is a real thing.
It is a real thing in cartography circles, yes.
Yeah. A trap street is essentially, back in the day when they made maps, it was all
by hand.
By hand. And so a trap street was just a little addition, a little street or something put in somewhere on the map that only the map maker knew of. It didn't exist, but it meant if he looked at other people's maps and saw that, they'd copied him. Great. And it turns out it's Ishilda, or me, or
Mayor Me.
Hmm?
It's Mayor Me this time.
Mayor Me?
Yeah, she's the mayor of Trap.
Oh, Mayor. Sorry. You're talking American at me again.
I am. I'm sorry.
Jesus. And as we know, Jesus is an American thing. He's a white bloke with a beard.
And who likes automatic weapons. And
yes.
hates everyone different from him.
Yes, apparently. Do you know, I don't think the American right think religion works how it's supposed to.
It doesn't.
No, they've come up with their own little... Anyway, so yeah, Face the Raven. Clara is being a little bit... And it's been building up over the series. Clara's being careless, thinking she can be the Doctor. And with the parachute that the Doctor will always save her. The Doctor can't save her this time. The whole thing has been a trap, but it's a trap for him. And he's off to heaven knows where. It'll be heaven sent. And Clara's dead. She's got the deed, and the TARDIS looks pretty.
Very pretty TARDIS.
Very pretty TARDIS. So, Retta, please go first. What did you enjoy this? If so, why?
I love this episode. You know, I love, because I'm not a big fan of Clara, the character. I think the character is very, she tries too hard, and you put it a very good way, Auntie. The fact that she thinks that she can be just like the Doctor. Yeah. You know, and I do feel bad for the Doctor, because I could see that he was definitely going to go like all biblical on me.
That's a very good way of putting that. Yeah, he says, doesn't he? The Doctor isn't in.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so I do appreciate her ending. Her ending, where she just accepts the fact that she's going to die. So she owns up to the fact that she screwed up. Mm-hmm. You know, and that she's going to die. I think me learned how scary the Doctor really is, and I think me was thinking that she was on the same level as the Doctor. And I think she found out at that last scene before he gets sent away or transported away that she's not on the same level as the Doctor.
I'm wondering if she'd already thought that bit, because we know, retroactively, we know who she was dealing with and the technology, and the Doctor says, this technology looks familiar. It's Time Lord technology. Perhaps that encounter has suddenly made her realise how whatchamacallit the Doctor is, but she doesn't know him well enough to know that anything like this is not going to work unless, for example, there's an idiot who goes and says, kill me.
Gullible bastard, right, to put themselves in his sight line. Yeah.
Well, I think overall the episode was a good stepping stone into the next 2 episodes to kind of, like finish out this particular series. And the fact that, both of me and Clara fancied them to be on the level of the Doctor. And they both found out at the end that they are so not.
It's not going to happen, is it? It's just not. Okay, Spanky.
Mm-hmm.
Did you watch Doctor Who?
I did.
Oh, you special sausage.
I am incredibly special.
You are.
Like Special K, or the Special Olympics.
No, special. Love, in a way that only you can be special.
Super special.
In a way only an auntie can love.
And I will tell you all about how only auntie can love on my OnlyFans.
Why did I do this?
Just saying. I have a tell-all book coming out too.
Oh, good. Signed copy, please. Right, come on. Talk Doctor Who, goddammit.
It was good seeing Clara get a clue as to she's not as smart as she thinks. And it was good seeing the depths to which the Time Lords will sink.
You've seen nothing. Seen nothing.
It's a hint. They go to all manner of, lengths and stupid shit over the course of the life of the universe, but it's just
this is incredibly mild
for 4.5 billion years.
We're not there yet, though, are we?
I know. I'm just saying, just to get the answer to a question that's not really the fucking question. Anyway. Sorry. I'm just saying that if they'll go to such ridiculous lengths and pimp basically anyone or anything like that, it just gives you an idea of the kind of scumbuggery that they are really up to. And there's Ghosty. He's grunting and grunting.
Yeah, I know. He's trying to move, and like you say, he's getting on a little bit now.
He's getting on. Plus the myelopathy thing is really making it difficult.
Yeah, sorry, with Spanky's dogs, or indeed Retta's cats, or indeed Sinister's. Or Brian's dog. No, forget me. Look, if there's animals, forget me. I zone out.
The whole thing where Mi is a little ahead of herself too, and thinking that because she's immortal, she can kind of place herself on the same level as the Doctor. There's always somebody pops up who thinks, "Oh, I've got this. I can compete with this jackass." River Song's a good example, right? That think they can do pretty much whatever they want until they get shown exactly how far they are outstripped by the Doctor.
Yeah, that was
I think Mi gets a taste of them when she realizes that the Time Lords are pretty much out of her league, and then she realizes later that, wow, as far as she's out of their league, that's as far as they are out of the Doctor's league. And that gives her, by a point in time, which we'll talk about later, an idea of her place in the situation.
I think she achieved her place properly
up here.
In Hellbent. Because the girl at the end of the universe did seem a lot more mature.
Yes. She finally grows up.
I mean, they
character-wise.
Trillions and trillions of years.
But it took her a hell of a long time to learn. That's all I'm going to say. Dr. Sinister.
Hello.
Have you brought enough for everyone?
You want some?
Oh, yes, please.
Ooh.
Yeah, Frazzles.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'll email them. You can print them out.
Oh.
3D. Give me the file. I'll 3D print them.
Well, no, I'm on a diet, so I'm just going to use paper.
Well, you can just tone down one of the colours.
You just need
That's
the
true.
fiber.
What are they called again? Bacon Crispies?
Well, they used to be called, well, they
flavored
still are
potato
called
chips.
Frazzles by Smith's Crisps. Or
Now these are
Walkers now.
Sainsbury's ones. Though.
Yeah, they're the own brand jobby.
Also, you
Anyway.
might want to look into bacon Pringles.
Yeah.
Oh, we've not had those
Mr.
over here.
Pringle.
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk about. Everyone wants
Mr.
to talk
Pringle,
about Out of the
now,
Unknown,
Pringles
but I was
chips, Mr.
saving
Pringle?
it till last. God damn it!
Are those two related? You decide.
Oh dear, come on, Sid.
Anyway.
Come on.
There's a
Right.
conspiracy.
Can I start by saying this episode looks brilliant. I love the look of it. The street looks really, really detailed.
Cozy,
and
isn't it?
It's very cozy and it's homely and I love the look of it. Now, I don't dislike this episode, but I had completely removed it from my memory, having watched it. I watched it once before
But why?
because I don't have time to watch modern Doctor Who. I would if I'm given a choice, I'll either watch something I haven't seen before or I'll go back to classic Who. I don't dislike modern Doctor Who.
Cannot say I do any different.
I don't dislike modern Doctor Who. It's just not on my list of things I'll go and watch. So this is a good excuse to watch them again. So
I'm
I'd
enjoying it,
completely
yeah.
I'd completely forgotten the plot of this episode.
You'd lost the plot,
So
you say?
needless to say, you can imagine how utterly delighted I was when me turned up again.
Yes, yes, indeed. And I do seem to remember you making a comment on our Discord channel. We got a Discord channel, by the way, folks. Brian, I don't know if you want to chuck a link in or whatever.
Chuck a link in.
No, Abble Fubble Wob, you did make a posting about the brevity, the Lord of the Rings style brevity of the ending.
So yeah, I'm coming to the main crux of the matter now. So
Oh, good turn on the phrase.
There's a
shut up.
crux.
Sorry, shut up.
can I just say first of all,
No,
and I may have said this the last time we encountered me. She has to note all of her stuff down in books because she can't remember enough. And she says to Clara, "Oh, you're as pretty as you are in the books," or something like that. And Clara says, "We have met, you know." And she says, "Yes, I know. I've read the stories many times." If she's got such a limited memory, how does she remember reading back on her own history?
Why she reads it many times.
How does she know she's
constantly
read it many
rereads.
times?
Well,
She
the
keeps
spine
forgetting.
starts to get a little bit wobbly and maybe a page falls out.
So anyway,
Target books.
yes, I was ecstatic to see the return of me.
Yes,
the
can tell.
possibly the most interesting character in the entire Doctor Who canon. Extremely well acted, I might say, and extremely believable. And no, I fucking hate her.
I wonder
So-
how long.
Then we get to the bit where Clara does the stupid thing.
Yes.
And the Doctor's like, "No, I can't save you this time. You're dead, baby." So this episode was
Causes
playing.
Another Dr. Temper tantrum.
This
Right.
episode was playing, and the Doctor and Clara are having this, "Oh, I'm gonna miss you. Oh yeah, I'm gonna die. It's gonna be terrible. Oh no, it's already
Sorry,
terrible."
in a Birmingham accent. Oh, we're going to die? It's going to be terrible?
They're having this chat about how Clara's going to die and what a stupid bitch she's been. And I went out to the shops to get some shopping, and half an hour later I came back and the fucking scene was still going. So then I went for a dump and I came back an hour later and the fucking scene was still going. So then I went upstairs and I had a bath and washed my arsehole, obviously, because I just had a dump. And I came back down 2 hours later and the fucking scene's still going. Now, can I just point out that earlier on, the fucking Raven chased a guy down the street and he was dead within 30 seconds, and it took 3.5 hours to find Clara in a fucking house next door, and she still won't die! Just die!
Okay.
You'd hit the pause button.
What?
You'd hit the pause button.
Honestly, just fucking die already.
I'm sorry. I salute that marvelous, magnificent flashing blade style rant. Beautiful.
That was
Beautiful.
Excellent rant.
Yep.
And viewers, you should really,
You can have a lolly
really
for that.
appreciate the acting chops that Sinister displays. Because
No, that's not acting chops. That is just natural hatred.
in the script that he got, it told him to emote, but it didn't specifically say what. Because I saw his copy of the script before they sent it out.
Hey, hang on a second.
That
They're
was great,
supposed,
dude.
they're supposed to
That
be
was awesome.
confidential.
I know.
Supposed to
They're
be
supposed
talking
to be.
about the scripts anymore, remember?
Yes, it's too meta.
They told us in the
But it
script
says in
not
my
to
script
talk about the script. Dan.
so I had to talk about the script. So
We've reached that bit of the movie. Hang on, sir. I'll fast forward. Sorry.
What are we watching? We're watching now.
watching now.
Ah, Spaceballs.
All right, then. Come on, Brian.
This is a god.
So I say that, Sin. Now you got that out of your system. You got anything else to say?
Yeah, I didn't like it much.
All right, okay.
You expect me to top that?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, God damn it. Come on, you've been doing this long enough now.
All right.
Got to.
So
Yeah.
first we have me pretending, thinking that she is more clever than the doctor,
Righty. Okay, yes.
who clearly he can remember his history. She can't. That should be her
Supposedly.
first fucking clue that no, you're not built for this. Okay, fine. She moves on. She puts her little plan in action after finding out that Rigsy knows the doctor and Clara. Fine. She gets contacted by the mysterious someone who wants the doctor. Comes up with an elaborate plot that
Involves
promptly goes to shit.
Yeah, frankly. And basically, you know the phrase they use in the military? Even doesn't matter what your war plan in. Your war plan will not survive the first encounter with the enemy.
Yes.
That's essentially what happens here.
There's a simpler way to put it.
Plan survives
Everybody has
contact
a plan until they get punched in the face.
Yeah.
So
That's
basically,
the fight.
me is
Laws
Putin.
of fighting effort.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Putin is a perfect example.
So she has the plan and she enacts it.
Yes, she does.
But she doesn't realize that Clara has taken a certain sense of, shall we say, devil may care.
Ooh, very
Cockiness,
Nice, very
perhaps.
nice. Very nice. Well done. Yes.
Cockiness, perhaps, that
Level may
she
care,
is
level
just
up.
as important as the doctor, and the doctor will always save her.
Let me introduce you to Katerina, Sarah, and Adric.
Yeah. The only problem is that she did not crash into the earth and wipe out the dinosaurs, which I kind of wanted to see.
Yeah, but it's already happened. What happened if you get a
Doesn't
second?
matter.
I mean, there've been so many fucking explosions on prehistoric Earth. It's
What's
ludicrous.
one more? One more. Just one more.
I think Scaroth's was the first, and then after that, everything turns up.
Oh,
I remember
don't
reading a
forget you have the
fanzine
spider
article.
people at the center of the planet when it formed. I mean,
I remember
You have to
I was
crash
reading a
object into
fanzine
celestial
article.
body. Prehistoric Earth is a really good spot in time and space to do it. So
Where the Silurians are obviously running around, and then they see this holy light. The apes are all bowing to it and everything else like that, which is the arrival of Light's ship from Ghostlight. And then just as they're all sorting that out, Adric arrives.
We didn't talk about my idea for a new Doctor Who story.
Oh, we must do this at once.
The Daleks decide to invade the Earth
Yes.
again.
Yes.
So this time they think,
Yes.
right, this time we're going to fucking get this right.
Yes.
And so they decide to go back in time again
Yes.
to invade the Earth.
again.
Again.
again,
We see the Dalek fleet arrive in orbit around the Earth.
Yes.
We
Again.
don't get much of a good look at the Earth, but it's obviously the Earth. And we follow the Dalek command saucer down to the Earth, and we watch it land, and we watch as the Daleks come out. Only they've gone back in time a bit too far, and it's still full of Silurians.
Here comes Adric.
And then Adric comes in again and blows everything to shit.
It's a good way of ending anything,
Here's if you
really.
kill a
That.
bunch of
It's
sleep
tragic.
bags.
Oh,
I'm
and
just
the
saying.
other thing that happened was Buff Magic turning up. The guys from Project Golden Age turned up. So yeah, I quite like that idea. It was heading to it. It's essentially where they were eaten by a dog due to a terrible misunderstanding of scale. It's that sort of a thing.
Dog eating.
No. The dog does the eating.
No, the dog eats
The dog
them.
ate the
not
alien.
that
Yeah,
the
eats
dog
the
eat- the
dog.
dog-
No,
eats the
I'm
space
sorry,
chips.
I'm foreshadowing.
Oh, righty. We're still stuck on that, aren't we?
We're still on Brian.
I know we're still on Brian. I know.
Yeah. So it was a so-so episode with a so-so plot, but I really enjoyed watching Clara die.
Yes.
I mean, I could watch her die over and over again.
She's pretty, but she got too big for her britches. Thank God she died. And then she didn't. But still, at least
She's
for a
been
minute. she died.
annoying throughout the entire run that she's been. From the moment you meet her with the 11th Doctor, when she was a Dalek, to, like, her end, she was just so annoying.
Yes.
I'd like.
And
we,
yet
we've
the
always,
doctor considers her his girlfriend.
we all well, the three of us up here have agreed basically that they took the wrong Clara with them. I would have rathered the Victorian governess version of Clara.
Yes, I liked her much better than the other two Claras.
It's
Honestly, I wanted to see Clara meet up with River Song.
Yeah.
And River Song to go, no, he's my husband, you trollop, and smack her.
And just shoot her in the face or something.
Just,
That would be great.
cat fight right there. And
Just
the doctor
remove a
just
bunch of
I
organs
don't
or
think.
something and,
I
like,
don't
yeah.
think it's like that. She's not the Doctor's girlfriend. She doesn't think
It
she's
is
the Doctor's
time.
girlfriend.
It is
think
time.
No,
It
the
is
Doctor's
time for
taking the
something.
piss. If you remember, she turns around at Christmas in Time of the Doctor and basically says, I've invented a boyfriend, you're my birthfriend. Oh, ding dong, still got it. And the elbows go everywhere.
If you look at Capaldi's interviews, though, the doctor believes he is her boyfriend.
I will happily check that out. I wish for you to provide me with the links where you've seen such scurrilous scandal. Not straight away, we're doing a show. Right.
Can I just say, though,
Yes.
it is time the Doctor took a companion from Earth history. If not an outright alien, someone from Earth history rather than a contemporary person.
I agree.
'Cause It's getting...
I agree. Or Strax.
Yes.
Sorry, I want Strax with everything.
The trouble is...
It's going to take
the
me a
trouble
while
with-
to break from that.
The problem there is that the production time would increase exponentially because of the makeup required for every single scene.
You're right back.
Very true.
Another cannon has to go.
It's very true. Oh, dear. So, did you enjoy it, Brian?
Ask me about the thieves later.
I liked watching her die, yes.
No, the whole thing.
Oh, I think the script let Maisie Williams down.
I could agree with that.
I think the script sort of let Peter Capaldi down. But this was obviously a Clara show.
There's a very interesting moment. It's just after I see you. It's just after Clara dies. And it's the moment where Capaldi looks and then turns back to the shop. And you can see he hardly moves his face at all. But you can see the change in him. It's brilliant. It's a bit like Jacoby when he became the Master. It was just the coldness of his eyes. Suddenly you knew the Professor wasn't home. That's master acting. That really is. And we are going to see Capaldi at his very best next week. Sinister.
When it became obvious that Clara was going to die, why couldn't they put her into that stasis chamber thingy?
Because the Doctor explained the fact that the Raven would follow them wherever through time and space, that they couldn't escape it.
No, but they could temporarily postpone the problem until maybe he sorted something out.
Maybe.
I mean, that's sort of what happens in Hellbent.
Let's see. This is a Moffat episode, so plot hole. I'm going with plot hole.
That's one of those things we're not supposed to ask about.
Exactly.
Yeah. So on the whole,
Right there in the
we're
script.
what? We're not quite thumbs up. We're not thumbs down, but we're sort of.
Oh, I'm completely thumbs up.
Oh, good. I
Brenda liked
enjoyed
watching
it.
her die too.
I
enjoyed
did
it.
like watching her die, but I liked everything about the episode.
Good.
I would like to point out though that we get a much better companion next year.
Mm.
Mm.
Actually,
I love-
no, I don't know if I really dig her.
I love
Bill.
Bill.
Bill's brilliant.
I love Bill from the first episode. I thought she was fantastic.
We love, yeah, absolutely adore Bill.
Okay, we'll have to agree to disagree.
Bill is low key in
That's
love
fair.
with the TARDIS.
It's allowed.
I like Nardole better.
Nardole. Yes, right. So, anyway, next week we're going to be looking at Heaven Sent. This
No, we're
show... Yes, we are.
No, next week is Jodie's.
Oh my God, you're right. And then the week after that, it's the Nigel Neal's... No, it's not the Nigel Neal special. So the fortnight... Oh God, I've got this wrong. I know I
So
have.
in 4.5 billion years' time, we'll be watching Heaven Sent.
Yes, basically. We've got Legend of the Sea Devils next Sunday, which will be coming to you fresh from viewing it, which means obviously we'll give you our normal in-depth analysis.
Most of our faces will be, what the hell was that?
Well, like I say, there might be some form of announcement. It either might be about the centenary or it might be about who the new Doctor is. I don't know.
Now, can I just say here, wouldn't it be amazing if the next Doctor made a cameo in the episode?
That's so meta. Okay.
That is so Legopolis / Day of the Doctor.
Yeah, but a full-on appearance.
You're heading
When they
down
haven't even
Sylvester.
announced them yet. They haven't even announced
Oh,
them
I
yet.
see what you mean.
Yeah.
Now that's a nice idea.
That would be cool.
As long as you put their name as an anagram in the Radio Times.
No one buys that.
Maybe
anymore.
I
the
know.
new Doctor will come in as Time again.
Don't know what's going to happen there. That's interesting. Oh, he's opened up a whole new level of mythology there. It's brilliant. It's wonderful. So much to
It's a
play
whole
with.
new level of what the fuckery.
Yeah, exactly. We've been going for 60 years, goddammit. We need new levels of
Fuckery's our bread
fuckery.
and butter. Wait a minute. I'm just saying.
It's good stuff. So, yes, Heaven Sent at some stage. I'm sorry.
And then Hellbent.
Once in a while.
Settle
get to it.
down. Settle down, children. Auntie has to do talking. Oh, dear, oh, dear, oh, dear.
While you talk, I get candy.
You do that. It's a good idea. Very good idea.
That's a good idea.
Right, so it's Big Finish time, and as I'm the only one now who apparently with the time to listen to Big Finish, and I will moan about it every week, I'm the only one doing the reviews.
You're also the only one who gets told about the Big Finish choices.
No, I always pass it on because I'm nice. So I looked at, I listened
Where
rather.
there's an utter lack of Big Finish information.
Stranded, the fourth box set, Stranded. So making up the rest of the 16 stories. It's the final box set. If you do your maths. Right, 4 stories. Okay. The first story is a little bit timey. So, yes?
Could you please explain what Stranded is? Because I don't know.
Okay, basically, at the end of Ravenous, the TARDIS gets very badly hurt.
Which Doctor?
8th.
Right.
Bear with me, I'm just trying to find Big Finish website. Bollocks, it's not there. There's a reason for this. Because I had to split, because there was just so much, I had to split my listening of it. And the first 2 stories, error. What do you mean, error? Idiotic bloody
I changed my battery configuration from this to something new. I'll show you guys what I forgot.
Here we go.
This is why I don't do Big Finish anymore.
Right. Okay. After crashing in 2020 London, the TARDIS crew has found the future of the universe altered and the human race doomed. As the Doctor tries desperately to unravel the paradox, all roads lead back to Baker Street, which is his house. And the greatest test of all, Brian, your speakers are a little bit too loud. Sorry, you're echoing me back. Sorry, and quite. We get two over here.
Hang on. The Doctor's house in Baker Street.
Yep.
Is there a fantastic saxophone solo in the middle of it?
Yes.
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 Kenny G all the way.
Ah, dear. No, best sax solo as far as I'm concerned. Hazel O'Connor's Will You, which I think is the perfect song. Anyway, so, yes. It's all based around the people living at the house during various periods. And it turns out the Doctor's had a rather unintended influence on a young lad in there called Robin, who gets involved with this thing called divine intervention. Yes.
Does he have a nest?
Or a hood?
Is he an orphan?
Sorry, I'm trying to come up with some sort of line about Albert, and I can't. The thing is, that man actually has two arms. He has two arms.
I know. I'm just trying to throw you off your review.
You're doing very well. You're doing very well. I'm very impressed. Thank you. This makes it fun for me as well. So,
excuse me. Would you like an M&M?
No, thank you. I don't like M&Ms.
Yes.
The peanut ones.
I only like chocolate M&Ms.
No, these are regular.
No peanut.
Yeah, no, I'll have some, please. Can you
Just the
email
green
me?
ones.
Or actually send me a fax.
Here you go.
We will do that one day. We will achieve that.
We will make this happen one day.
So, yes, the basic point is that they've got to unalter Robin's future. So, the first one's called Cross Lines. It's by Matt Fitton. And it's all set on a train. It's a journey that Robin and his dad are taking, I think it was up to Edinburgh. And they've got to try and persuade Robin to, not to do the thing he is. However, the paradox is catching up with them, and the timeline's dissolving, which is always a bit of a problem. I noticed everyone fucked off as soon as I started to speak. That was interesting.
I didn't.
You didn't. No.
I've been
That's
heckling
loyalty,
you.
that is.
I don't know if you noticed, but I've been heckling you throughout.
Yeah, no, but that's still loyal. Right, so...
Here, have an M&M. Sinister, pass this over.
No, Retta needs to. Retta, can you just reach down and grab the M&M and then pass it to your left, please? No, left. Other left. Yes.
We've got to set that up.
We've got to.
We have to set this up somehow.
Oh, dear. Okay. However, a couple of the Doctor's friends are split off from him, and they need to ask the curator for help.
Oh.
Yes. He's the creator, but he's probably not the one you were expecting. Change, my dear, and it seems not a moment has been prepared for.
Is that why it's called Baker Street?
Yeah, no, it should be, but no. It's the Sixth Doctor's version of the curator.
221 Baker Street.
No, it's not. I think it's 87. It's the Sixth Doctor's version of the curator. Now, Stephen Moffat, when they were first looking to bring the curator into Big Finish, Stephen Moffat said, "Look, I've always seen him as fluid. He can wear whichever face he wants." So he's wearing this face today. There's mention of another one who's all elbows and bow tie. You can imagine who that is.
Does the curator have an enemy called the caretaker who's got a beard?
Big Finish. The idea's there.
I take Visa.
We should pitch that to Dominic.
Right, we'll do that next time he's on the show. Remember that. And that's another one in the big book of ideas that have never gone anywhere. Yeah.
Until he's running the show.
The curator does meet the Doctor. And the Doctor susses out he's a future version of himself. I don't know how that stands with Time of the Doctor, where the Doctor doesn't know about the curator. But I don't know. Then
it sounds to me like an ultimately evolved form of the Doctor, who, like you say, can go back to any point in his time stream and.
Yeah, seems like that.
Somewhere long after Jodie.
My hair's doing a thing.
Where the Doctor can control his regeneration to that extent.
Or
before.
Are they pre-Hartnell Doctors? It's all open. Right, okay, so the second...
Who's to say that the current string of regenerations aren't reappearances of what the Doctor was pre-Hartnell?
God damn it, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
So in that case, in about 10, 11 more bodies, we'll get we'll get Joe Martin doing a proper stint.
You never know.
Right, the second episode is Get Andy by Lisa McMullen. Sorry.
Are we still heckling? Sorry.
Shut up, Spanky.
Yes, ma'am.
And basically because at the end,
I get like cut glass.
The spoilers for the ending of Series 3, by the way. I'll count down from 5, so you can mute me and I'll wave when you can come back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mute. Right, at the end of the box set, the last box set, Sergeant Andy from Torchwood gets killed. He gets kablowed up.
The policeman.
So sad, yeah. It's played by Tom Price, and I love the character. I think he's just wonderful. So this story, you can come back now, is the Doctor going to rescue Andy. Except he's not the only one trying to do that. The mysterious Mr. Bird, who goes all the way back to the beginnings of Stranded, is also trying to rescue Andy for some reason. Bird. Robin.
Is it the Black Guardian?
No. Honestly, a Robin? Do you honestly think he'd go with something so... No, it's not Batman.
No.
It's not Batman?
It's not Batman. But, yes, as it says here on the Big Finish website, I am cheating slightly. Mr. Bird has something to prove, and he'll go to any extreme to do it. The next story is The Keys of Baker Street by Roy Gill. And...
do they go in the attic of the Keys of Baker Street and find a civilization ruled by creatures that are just brains?
I don't know the reference you're meaning, unfortunately, but yes, the attic is very, very important.
Keys of Marinus.
Attic? Why the attic?
Because it's in a house.
Well, the city of Morphaton was a fucking city.
Not really.
There's no real direct link there to make the joke.
It is. You said the Keys of Baker Street. I'm going Keys of Marinus.
Oh, dear God.
It's an episode just in a different room.
Jesus, I need Liz. I need
Is the
Liz
top
with
floor of
medicine
the house
now.
not really there? Is there perhaps a perception filter built around the spaceship on top of it?
Can I just make an observation here? If I am going to efficiently heckle people, you have to be on your game.
That's right.
If you're not on your game, there's no point employing me as a professional heckler.
True.
I'm sorry, we are deliberately slowly sliding towards Michael Caine there.
You're only supposed to blow the bloody doors off.
Did someone put something in your
good.
Wheaties today,
Really
Dr.
good.
Sinister?
No, he's had E-numbers.
We're just Auntie has to be brought to task because she does not effectively employ her hecklers.
It's true.
No, I'm saying you're not working with me here.
That's an awful lot of ice. Brian, drink.
Jesus
All about you,
Christ.
Sean.
Thanks, Greta.
Okay. The void is closed in.
Gonna
All
get
that's left is
alcohol
Baker
poisoning.
Street itself. And the house is slowly being eaten by the void. And each of them have got a house key, but they're a special house key. Because who do you think chooses the residents of Baker Street? It's not the doctor. It's the curator. He's the one who manages it all. And so these keys are actually quite special. And they allow you to enter time windows, time slides, if you like, of various scenes over the past few years in the house.
So is the house the curator's TARDIS? Much like the Undergallery was?
Bear with, please. I will get there. Where was I? Bollocks, I was on a roll there for a second as well.
Time slides, keys.
Yes, time slides, keys, things. Yes. Now, I initially had a slight problem with the script, and it was something to do with the whole trans thing with Tanya. And I can't remember what it was, but I do know it was written through very carefully and came out the other side smelling lovely. It's basically the house is destroyed, and that's all Tanya's stuff. But there's more memories than just Tanya's there, because she hasn't been Tanya by name all her life, being trans. And so, but it actually did touch a nice chord at the end there, and I did enjoy that. I thought, yeah, that's a nice, it's not heavy-handed, it's just a nice touch. I like that.
Was she Robin?
She was not Robin.
Okay.
Okay, and it wasn't John Hurt.
But now she's a bird.
Or a plane. I don't know.
Was it 1984?
That's coming up in a couple of weeks.
Okay.
Right, so the last story is not an adventure. Nothing much happens.
Right.
Much
like this show.
As again, I'm going to read from the Big Finish side here because it puts it nicely. What happens if the world is actually fixed? There are times when even the Doctor cannot help. Because, of course, Stranded started in 2020. What else started over here in 2020?
Don't know.
COVID.
The virus.
Like I said, COVID.
And so suddenly there ends up
all other life forms.
Oh, no, not the
To
Genesis
hold
question.
in my hand a capsule that contains such power.
We
to know
ask
that
waitresses
life
this.
and death of such a scale is my choice. Sorry.
So basically the timeline snaps back to normal, and you've basically got a year, just various different periods during the year, of them coping with lockdown. That's all it is. Liv's a medtech, so she goes off to help the NHS. The Doctor cannot handle it any longer. The TARDIS still isn't working, but he's got room to walk and breathe inside the TARDIS. He can't. In one house, no. Even then, it's in one room of one house because it wasn't at the bubbling stage yet. The attic. Let's just say there is a TARDIS connection. All right? I know. That's what I thought. And, of course, you got the romance between Liv and Tanya. And the question is, who's going to stay on Earth? Who's going to go with the Doctor? Will this love story be broken? And I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you. So Stranded 4, better than Stranded 3. I can tell you that much. Definitely better than Stranded 3. Rounds it off very nicely. And I just love the fact the last story wasn't an adventure. It was real life.
Character study.
Almost. But I think it was Big Finish acknowledging the pandemic proper. because some of the characters in the house don't survive. That they catch COVID and die. But it's done almost behind the scenes. Almost.
Is this Big Finish saying that the pandemic is over?
No. No, it isn't. They're not that stupid.
It's a fixed point in time, apparently, so it can't be avoided.
Yeah. It's an interesting story, that one. And like I say, not an adventure, it's a story. Very gentle. It's a lot about, obviously, Tanya and Liv. Yeah. Yeah, I'll say it ended up quite well. All the ends are tied up. As for Stranded as a whole, it started very strongly, but the two middle sets really did dip. And it only just came out the other side, I think. They pulled it out of the hat for the last box set, I think. Their big mistake, in my own opinion, all right, your mileage may vary, I didn't enjoy them so soon messing around with time too much. It started to... It's a case of, no, whoa, hang on. Though I do think the telling of the story backwards at the end of Stranded 3 was a very good novel idea, and they worked it very well.
The messing around with time thing sounds a little bit too similar to the whole Time Lord Victorious saga.
No, it's an accidental thing. Rather than a deliberate thing.
Okay.
Basically, the Doctor, because he's stranded, lives at Baker Street, and this kid Robin likes him, sees him as a father figure because he doesn't get on with his own father, and determines to be more like the Doctor. That leads him into a cult, if you like, and they end up taking over the world, destroying everything.
Oh, that's definitely like the Doctor then.
Right.
Of course, the one thing missing from a certain garden would be a robin.
Yeah,
there's no birds
in the garden.
There's no birds. But, gee whiz, we're going to a shindig.
Gee whiz. Golly gee williker.
Well, golly, Retta, you get a store-bought dress for this.
And can I just say, right from the very start, and for the record, Malcolm Reynolds is a fucking ass.
Completely agree.
Yep. He doesn't know what he's thinking about Inora, and so he mouths off at I was going to say Ella. We watched Shindig, Firefly episode, where they land on the P7E, and thank you, Sinister. It's nice. I got someone here who recognises my references. And they get a job from Badger. Except it's a slightly...
Like all the Badger's jobs.
It's a slightly martial world. And I don't mean martial as with a 5-star badge. I mean...
martial law.
Not martial law. It's very militaristic.
Yeah.
They wear uniforms and this, that, and the other. And they're a bunch of arse-eating snobs, as far as I'm concerned.
Have we mentioned, by the way, that, and I keep meaning to mention this, the obviously recycled uniforms from Starship Troopers?
Yeah. I love Starship Troopers.
The Alliance Troops.
Now, I've seen Starship Troopers quite a few times, and I
Meyer.
didn't pick that up. It shows how much attention I paid.
Would you like to know more?
Yes,
please. Yes. So, the contact Mal has to go to will be at this shindig. Thing is, Inora has also... Well, she's got a job there. She's a companion, and we learn a little bit more just how much sway a companion can have. However, the guy she's chosen is a complete and utter ass. I'm using this word a lot for this, but it fits.
Macho.
So they need to meet another person at this shindig, this big fancy ball. And so Katie gets her dress and she escorts Mal to the ball. So
She's completely out of place.
Oh, yeah, but the men absolutely loved her. The women hated her, but the men, because she's talking engines, were just wrapped. Absolutely wrapped.
Well, they cannot abide useless people.
Exactly.
No.
That's a great line.
It's fantastic. I use it at work a lot.
I cannot abide.
Abide useless people. Oh, that you could imagine the pirate captain saying that.
Mm-hmm.
You could. Oh, yes. Anyway. Unfortunately, the personal gets in the way of business because Mal's jealousy, and that's what it is about Inora being with this guy, flips things over. And unfortunately, when Mel decks the guy, that's a challenge, and Mel has to go to a sword duel with him. Not going to say anymore. The Brian starts off.
All right. I love this episode.
It's a good episode, isn't it?
So good. I mean, you get to see what they do on shore leave.
Yeah.
Which is Maul gets in trouble, drags the rest of the crew into it, and then barely survives.
Yeah, that's about the size of it.
Formula.
Forgot the snogging.
Can I actually make a point right now? I need to make a point right now, right this moment, before you continue. I should have said it in my piece. I'm sorry. Had Summer Glau been to the Dick Van Dyke of English accents school?
Yes.
I did wonder, because I tried to work out what accent she was using, because it certainly wasn't British.
It wasn't. It wasn't, but it fooled Badger enough to do it.
Badger's an idiot.
Yeah, to be fair. And he's dead now,
I
anyway.
think calling Badger an idiot is an insult to the idiot community.
Thank you.
No problem.
Thanks.
Yeah, this is good. You have the Maul and Inara play going on. I mean, it's obvious he has feelings for her. And it's obvious she has feelings for him. However, his mouth keeps getting in the way.
Oh, man.
That is a very good way of putting it.
Yeah, it's open mouth, insert idiot.
Yeah.
And he defends her as someone would in that situation because, yes, the guy that's playing her what is it? Patron? I guess they call it.
Punter.
You'd call it?
Client.
Trick.
Client. Yeah, he's an utter ass. He's all about possession.
He's a complete ass. Well, he goes on about slaves, and that's essentially what Inora would have been.
Right. Well, which is funny because he also plays Duncan Idaho in the Sci-Fi Channel Children of Dune.
Right, okay.
Okay. He's very good. I like him in any other role except for this. Because I personally would have gone with the Maul situation and decked the little bastard.
Yes.
So, yeah, that's good. You see Zoe and Wash go off and they have their couples time away from the ship, which is much needed.
He has to grow the moustache back for it. He has to grow the moustache back for it.
Well, you know, I mean, hey. At least she wasn't all corpseified at this point.
That's true. That is very true.
And then they get back to the ship, and Badger's there and informs them that Mal has, yes, indeed, fucked up again.
So the question is, space cows of the future, are they trained not to moo when people are having a conversation?
No, they're not. You see, when they get the cows on the ship, River tends to go a little... And as long as she does it quiet-like, that's fine. But have you ever seen a stampede in space?
But why weren't the cows mooing when they were talking?
Because they didn't need them to. They were happy cows.
But the moment you get to the wide shot,
they start mooing again.
Yeah, exactly. They want to be on camera, obviously.
Well, duh.
They want to be the stars that they are. I mean, they're cows, for God's sake.
Retta, save me, please.
Save you?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Paco is doing a really great
job. No,
there.
you carry on. You carry on, please.
Well,
Retta, go ahead.
So,
I'm shutting him up.
I could care less about the cows. The cows do not interest me whatsoever. I don't care whether they're moving or not.
Hang on. I'd like to correct you, please, on the proper use of English. You just said, I could care less, which implies that you do care. The correct phrase is, I couldn't care less, which means that you don't give a fuck. So please, tell your people in America, use the goddamn language.
Now you see why I asked him on the show.
Two nations separated
by
one language.
I'm sorry for your sensitive British morals that I was not speaking correct British English for you, but I grew up in America and this is how we talk, so you'll have to deal. Since the Americans outweigh the British here.
Don't. You two
Your
don't.
country is very lucky not to be paying a license fee for our language. Just put it. I just want to put that out there.
Oh, yeah.
No, come on. No court would convict. No court in the land would convict.
You guys didn't even want, and we kicked you out of our
I'm sorry, but no court in the land would convict. All right? Quite simply, the American language is so different from proper English, they cannot now license it. You know, it's a completely different thing.
If you change a language by 10%,
with a proper
you own the
British
language.
have fucked the accent all up and don't speak correctly anymore.
Sinister, you and I are going to have words. Look what you've done. Look what you've done.
That whole Victorian thing really
you
fucked you guys
poked
up.
the children.
By copyright law alone, should you change a language by at least 10%, and I think we'll agree that American English has changed at least
for the worse
by 10%, if not more, you own the language.
That's right. Now your language.
The resulting language, I should say.
I'm sorry, that's all your own problem, but it's got nothing to do with us.
We have the most difficult language.
You want the language? Fine, go on.
It's fucking epic.
But to make Sinister happy,
yes,
I don't give a crap about the cows. Okay?
Which is odd, really, because I should imagine the cows did a lot of crap.
I'm sure they did, but I don't even want to think about that.
Serenity.
Can I just say, the cows speak very highly of you.
Ooh.
No, moo.
I've watched a lot of cow videos on YouTube for hoof stuff. It actually relaxes me. Watching all the farming videos and stuff, it's actually very relaxing. And cows,
I've seen that film.
Care where they go. I mean, they will shit everywhere and anywhere they are. They will shit. They will piss over.
Your point.
How did they clean the Serenity? How did they keep it clean while in space while transporting the cattle?
Yes, they were playing more of that card game to see who had to clean it up.
That's a good card game.
That is a good card game.
I may have to institute that rule.
Well, can I now give...
You just put them in the airlock and then pop the hatch and...
When it comes to cleaning the hole, they have at least got that hole in the floor that they can just pile all the shit through.
But where does it go?
There we go, Firefly plans. If you have the plans of the Serenity, if you wouldn't mind letting us know where all the shit goes, I'd be very grateful. Thank you.
The hole in the floor lead to any kind of airlock.
Well, now that we've
discussed
if you
can put the shit in the airlock, all you have to do is blow the lock and then it's clean.
Do they reformat into ceramic parts for Serenity? That's a possibility.
Retta, keep trying.
Keep going, Retta.
No, it's okay. I will let the little boys talk.
How did you like the party with the duel and everything?
The
Did you
Duel?
like the dress?
The Duel.
The Duel
Duel.
was just a macho.
Not duel.
you
It's
know-
not D-double-O-L. It's duel. D-U-L-E.
Yeah, whatever. I thought it was a bunch of macho, chauvinistic, awful things.
I can't let this go.
I am
D-U-E-L.
going to let it go. I'm going to completely ignore Sinister at this point about this. And I thought Kaylee stole the ball whatsoever with her wonderful dress.
Damn
And
straight.
the fact that she got all the guys' attention on her, and she didn't even... That's how great Kaylee is. She
I
doesn't
think I've
even
got a
have to
skirt
try.
like her dress. It's not quite so fluffery, but
Her dress was
Very
fucking
similar.
great. I thought it was
Her
awesome.
dress was freaking great, and I
It
loved
was
their
very
contact
campy.
that they had. The older guy that came to her rescue. No.
Benny!
That was
Benny from LA Law.
Benny from LA Law. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I loved everything about this episode. I just wish there was more Jane.
Oh, that's coming.
that's coming. Yeah,
I know.
Yeah,
I can't wait for that episode.
it's Simon's nightmare.
Yeah, just in case you don't know,
This
That's
must
right.
what going mad
Brett
feels
is
like.
thoroughly in the Jane camp.
Yeah,
I
Spanky.
am
do you want
thoroughly
to-
in the Jane camp.
Okay, Spanky, what did you make of this?
What can I say that hasn't been
I'm
said already?
scared.
I thought the duel was off
Duel?
the course.
Yes.
The duel.
Duel.
They're the same word. Duel.
Duel.
Same things. Pull the R out. Okay. Stop, or I'm going to say words like irregardless just to piss you off.
Oh.
Aha!
That's the nuclear option.
Oh.
Yeah, right? I'm just saying. I can't even do that because I'd have to slap myself for saying words like that.
Well, you just
Well,
did. So yeah,
irregardless.
there we go. Thank you.
Right. Okay. So it was good because you did see you get a sense of the power of the companions behind the scenes. They
Yes,
are an
very
effective
much.
social force in society, inner planets, outer planets. It doesn't matter. They have real sway.
Forgive me
and that's important later in the movie anyway. But
Forgive me,
go ahead.
and I'm terribly
Probably
sorry,
won't,
but
but
I
go
have
ahead.
actually forgotten the correct appellation for this. No, I've got it now. Geisha girls in Japan.
Asia.
Yeah.
Geisha.
Do you think, because, all right, there's a lot of, it's Chinese they talk, not Japanese, but do you
Some
think the
Chinese, maybe,
companions may have roots going back to that sort of service?
It definitely has roots in the geisha style of entertaining. But to understand geishas though, they're not prostitutes.
No,
Right?
no.
Geishas are entertainers. It's possible to sleep with one if you're wealthy enough, but their chief purpose is to know poetry, to be able to play a musical instrument, to tell jokes and things, to be entertaining, to be good companionship for an event, like while you're sitting at the bar drinking and so forth.
Exactly. Yeah.
Their idea is to be a good companion, not to be, a prostitute.
Fair
And
enough.
so that's why
Thus
it's interesting
speaks
that
a
when they
former
say we have
US
a companion
Marine.
who spent 2 years in Japan, right? So yeah, like it's a big thing. That's why I like the idea of companions, because that speaks more towards a geisha-esque social role, which is obviously socially very important. So yeah,
Well, quite powerful, because, I mean, she wipes him out, doesn't she?
very powerful. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, if you think even in European society, right, you had those various whatevers that would be the consorts, the kings, and so forth. Those what the hell do you call them? I can't remember now. But I mean, that was an actual social role. That they were not necessarily
Concubine.
prostitutes, but that they would
Concubines.
concubines, or there's another word, but it's eluding my scrambled eggs right now. Sorry. But that they could fulfill these roles even in higher society that were social, largely. Not prostitution, which is behind the scenes is social, right? That's in the bedroom. It's behind closed
Yeah,
doors.
we'll get into
You
the
need someone-
prostitution later on.
Right. You need someone who you can take out in public on your arm, though, who looks good and speaks well and all that. And that's the real important function. That's where Inara shines as a character, because mostly she just sits in her shuttle and looks pretty, and doesn't really do stuff. And this time she actually gets to go out and be a person, and do her profession and things. If we could see her like play a musical instrument or dance or do something, and there's a little bit of dancing, but if we could see her do something that took real skill, I think that would be even better. Like if you could see her like
does have
solving a problem
display of skill in
diplomatically or
our
something,
Mrs. Reynolds.
Yeah.
She's very good with people in divining and figuring out their motives and motivations because that's her training.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
I think she'd be an asset to the crew if they would, let her.
No. You got to change that. It's not if the crew will let her.
Right,
It would be Mal.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
if Mal would let her.
This asset, if Mal would let her. And that's where
Presumably
it
that
comes
would have
into-
been an area for development had it gone past one series.
Had it gone past one season.
It would have
Joss
been.
Whedon, you utter
There's
cunt.
also a rumor or some such that Inara was also dying during this series,
Interesting.
and that would have come forward later on, perhaps after she and Mal had gotten together, because we all know how Joss Whedon feels about happy relationships.
Yep, he does not believe in them, right?
Yeah.
I get
You
a
still
feeling
have
it's
to
because
go
he's
Buffy.
never had one. Sorry, forgive
But
me.
that's
I'm
the
not
thing.
being rude here. I'd forgotten to look at my diary entry for the gardening program. So I'm just letting you guys carry on chatting.
Go ahead. Well, but it shows you one important factor of Mal's character. We got one side of it in the robbery episode, right? Where you see that he's at heart basically a decent man, and in this one you see, despite that, he's kind of an asshole, and thus he is his own worst enemy. Really, he is his own worst enemy. He could get so much more out of, for example, Inara's his crew, or have a better life, or his crew would be so much better off. Things would be so much better if he weren't kind of an asshole, or less of an asshole, let's say that. But he's a real asshole, so he leads them into all manner of mischief. Yeah.
He's an asshole. Dio.
Oh, she is dying according to the novels
Yes.
Uh-huh.
of Kyle's melanoma.
Ooh, that sounds nasty.
And according to the novels, there is some point, I want to say it's during this one, but it's possibly later, that during one of the shore leaves, Zoe becomes pregnant. Because Zoe and Wash do have a kid in the novels and comic books.
Well,
Interesting.
Zoe does.
Spoilers!
Yeah.
Uh,
They call the kid Lee.
the problem I've got is I'm having a huge amount of difficulty reading my own handwriting.
Mm-hmm.
So
the
moving
proper
on,
British
Sinister, what
handwriting?
did you think of this episode?
Yeah, Sinister, what did you think?
Look, I don't have a problem with Firefly. I just don't quite get as passionate about it as some people do. I think
That's a lot.
maybe if there'd been some more of it, there would be more to invest in. But I'm acutely conscious of the fact that it is one series and one film, and that's all there is to it. And I can't really get invested in characters when it seems, no disrespect, that American TV executives will just drop things at the flick of a switch, and they don't give a fuck about.
Oh yeah.
I'm still bitter about Space Above and Beyond. I'll be honest with you.
We will be doing that soon.
You know,
I have the
and
playlist
I'm-
if you want
as
it.
I say, I used to have. For a couple of years, I ran with the philosophy of not watching any new American TV series until it had finished, until it had done a complete run. Because, I've been watching Severance, and that finished Friday. And I strongly suspect there probably won't be another series, because that's just the way these things seem to go. And you get invested in these characters, and then suddenly they just pull the rug from under you, and it just pisses me off.
I'd
Anyway,
like to
I'm going off
say
the tangent.
that Severance
Go
has
on.
done well enough not to have that happen, but I'm
Well,
afraid
hopefully.
the American networks are they're a
Yeah.
Stupid.
they're a
I
lords of
completely
themselves.
agree with you that American networks are stupid.
It's like
Executives are
Liz
stupid.
and I watched 2 series of Mindhunter, which we really, really enjoyed, and then
Yeah.
they just stopped making it.
You and me both, right?
Just
And
need to
that
quickly
pisses
say
off.
hello to It's the Fritz.
So anyway,
Fritz.
this was. I enjoyed the episode. I like the scenes on board the ship. It feels like a home. It doesn't feel like a ship. It feels like a home.
Exactly.
I think they've got that aspect quite nice. I liked the way that the guy at the end says to Inara, I'm going to ruin you. I'll make sure you never get another client. She's like, actually, it doesn't work that way. It works the opposite way, and I'm going to make sure you never get to spend time with a companion again. You'll have to, look after yourself, sort of thing. I mean, that was, yeah. I just
I have to attract women based on your own personality. God help you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Poor guy.
So
yeah, I've got no problems with this. I just, it's fine.
If you think we're passionate about Firefly, wait till Retta and I start talking about Buffy.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
I have never seen.
You get used to having really good TV shows just fucking ripped away from you.
I've never seen an episode of Buffy in my life.
You would enjoy it. You have to suspend your disbelief, realize what's going on, and just get with the joke.
Does it not take
there's far too much of it to do for the show.
Yeah, that's what you keep saying. I just think it's an excuse.
How many seasons did we do of fucking 30 or Life on Mars?
2 8-part seasons. The first series of Buffy the Vampire Slayer is only 13 because it was a mid-season.
It's called a season.
Go away.
Debut.
And the
season 2 is when it really shines.
Series 2 is when it really shines. Yes.
There.
Season 3 is excellent simply because they have the Zeppo, the Wish, and Doppelgangland.
Listen,
no, it's
there's
just too much
25
to do.
to 50 episodes, right? You're lucky if you get 10. What the fuck? Just had to get that out there. It's pissing me off.
Well, it's your show, Auntie, and if you don't want to, that is fine.
Well, we have spoken about this in the past, and again, there's too many for us to do a complete watch through. There was a suggestion we'd do it for the Patreon if ever we do the Patreon, but again, it's people having the time to come do this.
We also suggested that Brian might like to put together a playlist of 10 episodes or something, and we would watch them in chronological series order and just
poke.
How can we only pick 10, Paco?
Well, that's quite so. You've got Hush in there. You've got the body.
You have to have Hush. You have to have the musical.
The musical, the body.
The body,
and then after that, the last episode. The first episode.
You don't need the first episode. What you need from the first season is the finale. You need the finale for the first season. The second season, you need when Angel goes bad.
Mm-hmm.
Spoilers. He's not seen this.
You haven't?
He hasn't. No, that's what he said. He's never seen
Buffy.
You need Buffy's birthday in season 2. You need.
For those who can't read Dr. Sinner's expressions, he was just.
You need the episode with the judge in season 2 simply because of the kick.
This is the face of him manly bearing up.
Because that makes things go.
I wouldn't mind seeing the finale to series 3 just to see Armin Shimmerman get.
Oh, we're getting there. Yeah. I'm on season 2 still.
Anybody counting this?
Finale to season 2. You need. Season 3 is just chock full of good stuff. I don't know how we're going to... Like I said, The Wish, the Zeppo, Doppelgangland, they're in regardless.
What we could do is give Sinister a list with brief...
Yeah, you put together a list. We'll see how many episodes it is, and then we'll ignore it.
Yeah. What we'll do is we'll let Sinister read the scenarios, the plot synopsis for each episode, and then he goes, "Oh, that sounds good. Let's watch that one." It might be really terrible, but it caught his eye on the plot synopsis. I don't know what we're going to do. So anyway, Stephen Brennan. Stephen Brennan is a young Irish fellow, and he's absolutely adorable. I love him to bits. He's done a fair bit of things in fandom and stuff, but anyway, somehow he's gone back in time to the 1960s, and he's got himself a garden and a mad wife. It's not Stephen. It's just that they look and sound exactly the same. It's quite scary. He himself was somewhat taken aback when he saw the photos. So yes, there's this bloke obsessed with gardening, and Mr. Pringle, his advisor, sends him seeds occasionally, and he writes off to him and whatever. What?
Nothing.
She's joining in with the heckling now. Who said?
Well, we've got it on a rotor.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's nice. It must. I suppose that eases things up for you a little bit. Ah, bless.
Keeps us from getting burned out.
God, needs 4 of you to take me on.
Share the load.
So, his wife actually is a bit of a bag of nerves. He works quite a lot at as he's fishmongers. He's a bit like Harrison Chase from The Seeds of Doom, in that, for example, his assistant at the fish shop is laying out some fish on ice and putting little sprigs of parsley on it to make it look nice. And he goes Fruit Loops about the fact she's killed this parsley. He's playing in his green cathedral. Out back, he's got himself a lovely garden with no birds. And he's been feeding the plants and talking to them and having conversations with them. And it's really starting to put his wife... She's really starting to get worried. Then there's the first death.
Diced up rabbits, right? The plants get diced up rabbits in row.
Yeah, and cockles.
Big cockles, yeah.
Yeah, then there's the first death. And I don't want to give the ending away. I know it's out of the unknown and it's from the 60s, but it's still a nice little twist. It did have us debating here whether Stephen knew, whether it was actually Stephen doing the killing and not the plants. I say it was the plants, but something happens at the end on a piece of paper that suggests it might not have been. Sinister, please. Yes.
Right. When we first see him, I think it's not the very first scene where he's out with the plants, but the second scene where he's out with the plants and he's talking to them and they're responding. At that point I thought, oh, it's all in his head. He's a nutter. And there has to be an element of him being a nutter.
Oh, God, yes.
Because it turns out this Mr. Pringle doesn't exist, and this piece of paper, this envelope, this page was blank.
Yeah.
But something happened whilst he was in police custody.
Yeah. There's also the fact we get to see the plants moving.
Well, I didn't know. Yeah, you see, initially I thought, oh, this is
That
just
could
from
be
his
insanity, though.
Because don't forget, we saw the letter from his perspective and it had writing on it.
Yep.
And we saw the letter from the policeman's perspective and it was blank.
Yep.
So I thought the plants were just responding in his mind. However, later on, we do actually see, when he is not there, the plants moving and attacking people.
Yes.
Yeah. A kid, the wife, and the assistant.
So I think, in my opinion, undoubtedly, those plants were moving.
Yeah, I think because he was trying all sorts of different things, and remember, he steals that chemical from the chemist. He created
this initially.
I'm sorry.
However, I know that Spanky's got a lot to say on this, so I will just round off with one thought.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The man's a fucking hypocrite.
Yes, he is. Yes.
He bangs on about his assistant in the fish shop putting parsley on the fish and giving him tomato in his food. He's a complete fucking nutcase.
Yes.
Anybody who was that extreme wouldn't even be able to wear clothes because, cotton fibers and all the rest of it.
Right.
And can I point out, he's got wooden fucking doors in his house. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to shut up now.
Don't forget the food chain. Plants to animals to...
Okay, so
what have those rabbits been eating?
Right. More of those rabbits.
Thunderballs, I call them.
So, you know.
Spanky, do talking.
Oh dear.
Oh, shit, I unplugged
Yeah,
it.
that bugged me out because this had a lot of issues of narrator reliability. We see the paper from the man's point of view, and it's got writing on it. We see the garden from his point of view, and it's wiggling around and doing things, and he's feeding it meat and all this crazy stuff. But then we see the writing, the paper from the cop's point of view, and it doesn't have any writing on it. But then we flash back to the garden, and the assistant's getting killed, and he's not there. So is he a nutter? Is he not a nutter? Is this whole thing some weird fucking fantasy this guy's
I think it's
having,
both.
and
I
melting
think
down, and he's not in the police station or something.
No, I think
he's just hallucinating or some shit.
he had mutated some plants, but
Now,
he'd gone
that's-
completely Fruit Loop with it. And I think
That's another
both
thing,
stories are true. He's a nutter, and
Is
he
he a
plants
nutter,
are
but
killing
he's some
things.
kind of scientific genius who fucking bred
There's
carnivores.
one thing I forgot. The dog gets eaten by is it Nigel the plant? I can't remember his fucking
Yeah,
name.
Nigel.
Colin,
Nobby
probably. Most plants
Anyway,
are called Colin.
Nobby. No, it was Nobby, right? But anyway.
But later on, both he and the wife hear the dog barking.
Right.
So
That's the plan.
Yeah, that was
Now,
the plan.
that was the
the
plan.
dog
But
still
barking
alive, or was
to
was
attract
that
more
the
people
plan?
to it so it could feed.
Making a dog noise to get not to get
The-
other people, but specifically to get the wife out there to kill the wife because they knew the wife was freaking out about the dog.
The
So
the
was
only
the
reason
plan
I
to
didn't
lure
think
her
it was
out?
the only reason I didn't think it was the plant was that the dog was barking when he was in the garden, and he looked around as if to say, "Is that the dog? Is that Minnie?"
Right, and that's why I thought the dog was outside the fence. Yeah,
Yeah, surely if
Yeah,
it had
see?
been the plant, I'm not
Fucking
saying it
narrator
was.
reliability.
If it hadn't
But
been
they-
the plant, surely he wouldn't have. Yeah, he would have heard it if it was. But it makes sense it was the plant. But yeah,
That does, but
Well, I
again,
mean-
because he didn't, while he was in the garden, he didn't go, Nobby, stop making that noise. That's what I'm talking about, narrator reliability. This is where the director didn't go, and the writer's bad enough to go, all right, guys, quit fucking around and give me a clear storyline.
It was the
You know,
60s, Spanky!
They had good writers in the 60s.
They had
Don't do
drugs
that
in the
shit.
60s.
So
They
fucking
had
what, they got drugs
Yes,
now,
Bob,
still on good writing
alive.
is. As a writer myself, I take great exception to issues of narrator reliability because it is, unless you do it intentionally, it's a terrible failure on the part of a writer, on a storyteller, okay? And that's why I take exception to it. So just for a series that tells such incredibly good stories, for them to drop the ball on this order of magnitude is like just what one day they phoned it in. They said, hey, you know what? This one's garden and plants. Fuck it. Just, who cares? So, maybe they just did a shit job of editing. I don't know, but it's like, it could have done much better and they did not.
Has anyone seen the episode of Tales of the Unexpected, which is kind of similar to this? Where a guy goes to start chopping a tree down, and the tree goes, oh, and the bloke's like, oh my god, I'm really sorry. And in the end, he gets carted off to a mental ward, and one of the people who's turned up to cart him off goes up to the tree and goes, there, it'll be fine. And it turns out the trees do talk, and yeah, it's mad.
Yeah, right? Like, what the
Very
fuck?
unexpected. One of these days, I'll do the dance for you. I got the music. I'll do the dance.
I saw you dance.
It's-
the shake.
I want to say, I do appreciate you taking the time to properly apply the pasties before you danced.
all right. Though they were more like election rosettes.
She can do that thing with the helicopters going both ways. It takes a bit of skill to do that. Everyone who's watching, just so you know, Auntie has put the time in. She really has.
No pressure.
Atos, I can't work.
I can't
Seriously,
build her
I
up
can't
enough.
work.
You guys see, watch. She's just amazing.
So, hang on a second. Who hasn't spoken about
You'll
this?
be
Retta, have you spoken
transported.
about this yet?
Not yet.
Please do.
So first off, going off to the point about the plant imitating the dog, the reason why I think that the plant did the dog noise while Mr. Wilkinson or Wilkes, whatever his name was
Matey
in the garden was because it needed to distract him and make him go away so that way he could lure the wife out. Because the these plants, like you said, he's been mutating these plants, and these plants obviously have some sort of intelligence. I mean, I totally think that the reason why the plant attacked the kid was because of the fact that, the kid was bothering
Daddy.
pretty much what they consider their, like,
Daddy.
creator or something, or daddy or whatever it is, and were teaching the kid a lesson. The wife was threatening to pretty much take the guy away from the plants. So they needed to get rid of the wife. And how better to get rid of the wife than get rid of the dog? Because then they can lure the wife out. This had Little Shop of Horrors written all over it.
Yeah. When was Little Shop of Horrors written?
Yes! I was waiting for them to sing Suddenly Seymour.
Yeah, the thing is, hang on, I'm interested to know which one came first. We know the film came later, but was there a play or a book of Little Shop of Horrors that came in the 50s? Okay, then it predates this. Interesting.
I mean, you're right. I was waiting for Suddenly Seymour to come out now. Granted, Seymour didn't come off as nutsoid as this other guy did. And this was really dry to start with. For a while when I was watching, because this is one of the first ones I actually watched that, was like before 1980. I have a thing about watching stuff before 1980. And I was thinking to myself, what the hell has Auntie got us watching, and why the hell are we watching this?
Does this mean you've never seen Star Wars?
With exceptions, I have seen Star Wars. But for the most part, I don't watch stuff before 1980. For the most part, I get snobby and I turn my nose up. So, but anyway, I was thinking to myself, what the hell is Auntie making us watch this crap for? Because it was so
boring. Thank you for that. I get a certain amount of pleasure from you saying that.
Boring and oh my god.
It was quite long-winded, and I have to say, I do think some of these episodes could benefit from being chopped in half.
Well, some of them don't exist, and some of them are reconstructions, so you'll get your wish.
Yeah, and basically it's like the first half of the episode was super boring, then all of a sudden everything happened at the very end. And you're like, oh, okay, well, that made sense and it's all set. I mean, granted, within 15 minutes I had the Little Shop of Horror vibes going on. I was like, yeah, these plants are going to, take over the world and kill everybody. But...
Oh, and one other thing, the plants apparently only move when they're being filmed, not videotaped.
Yeah.
It's an important distinction. When it's safe. If
So,
there's a certain grain over your arm, if you stick it out of the window, you know it's safe to go out there.
So did I like the episode? I don't know. Maybe. But, I mean, like I said...
The guy drinks coffee. Coffee comes from a plant. He's a complete...
He drank coffee. I'm like, well, you didn't care about all those coffee beans? You
forget the story, forget the plot, anything else like that. The man's a fucking hypocrite. He's sitting on the edge of his couch pointing.
Regardless of whether or not the plants were alive, was the man crazy? Yes. No doubt. Regardless of whether or not the plants were alive.
He was several levels of crazy.
Some people are vegetarian, they won't eat cute food, but they'll eat any ugly animal.
He was several levels of crazy. He was first of all he was plant obsessed crazy. Secondly, he was mutating plants crazy, and thirdly, he was imaginary letters crazy. He was crazy in multiple degrees.
Can I put just to come on from where Spanky was saying that? It was walking up at the shops today. He'd going to meet Adam for lunch. And I heard this woman talking to somebody and talking about some of the people we've got here in Broadfield from Mauritius. And she was saying nice things. And then she turned around and said, oh, but, they eat animals over there. And I'm thinking, where did your Sunday roast come from? Yeah. What nonsense are you talking about? There's none so queer as folk. Do you want to know what next week's one is?
We haven't
I
done
don't think
Brian.
Michael's had a chance to talk about this yet.
I know.
Brian hasn't talked yet.
Do you want to know what next week's one is?
Brian does.
Go on and do talking.
He's ready to lodge a protest, apparently.
Where to go on this one? I want to know where he got the initial plants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
The only
because
thing I can
The
think of
garden
is
was
his
already
own
there.
mad
the Guardian was already
experimentation that
there,
did it.
but he was getting shipments from Mr. Pringles.
No, he
Now,
thought he
Mr.
was.
Pringles turns out to be a figment of his
Imagination,
imagination, some kind of paranoid schizophrenia, I think. But he's also mutating the plants using the chemicals he's stolen
And yeah.
Stealing from
from
the
the
pharmacy
chemist.
next door to
So
the shop, right?
they're ordinary plants, maybe tropical plants he's had imported.
They might be.
But
However, right at the start of the show, he's like, I need to get some rabbits to feed the plants.
Right. Rabbits to feed
So
the
right
plants
at the
off bat.
start, they're carnivorous to begin with.
yes,
Oh yes.
yes.
I mean, there's unless you live in Cornwall in the UK, a cactus will not survive outdoors in Great Britain.
Yeah, too much rain.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And I've got to admit, the cactus in this did look quite friendly.
It looked quite fake.
it reached out and touched.
But remember, tiny
Right here.
little cathode ray tube.
One thing about
screen.
making guys crazy, maybe he was actually like,
Crazy.
multiple personality crazy too, and that
That's
he
what
was
I'm
his
thinking.
own Mr. Pringles, and he would go and send himself the fucking plant.
So the question is here-
Well, this brings me up,
then mad
brings up,
scientist crazy
A
then
Beautiful
fits into
Mind.
Whatever.
Have you ever seen the movie A Beautiful Mind?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, it's all about
They never get any older.
a scientist who.
Don't spoil it,
Yeah.
Brian. I haven't
Yeah.
seen it, and I want to see it.
Oh,
By the way, the character
Sorry.
character in A Beautiful Mind, the real person, was actually a Doctor Who fan.
yes, he was. He
I
was a
would
big
just like
fan.
to turn around and say this to you all.
They left his homosexuality alone.
Do
for
you
the movie,
honestly
though, which is weird.
really think we should be talking in such depth about a 1960s
Yes.
episode of a science
Absolutely.
fiction anthology
What are you?
series?
Yes.
I'm very, very impressed. It's lovely. It's
trying
just
to analyze
it's the
it.
things you're concentrating
You
on
brought
that are
us women.
slightly wonky in my head.
I want to hear the end of Brian's thought.
Yes, let's hear the last of Brian's thoughts. Ever.
You said something about A
Brian,
Beautiful
finish.
Mind, Brian.
So
Thank you. That's
I'm
kind.
thinking that he's sending the letters to basically a dead drop. To himself, and he's getting that blank piece of paper. He's reading it as he would a letter from Mr. Pringle. But the initial plants, where did they come from?
Yeah.
Well, I
Another
still
big
say
event.
they were ordinary plants or tropical plants that he himself imported, mutated, and that's when they kicked off and started eating
Oh,
people.
when did the mutation occur?
Well,
was
earlier,
it before
obviously.
he got it, or was it like a Little Shop of Horrors thing?
I think it's something he did.
There was a comment. There was a comment from the copper. It was a bit of a throwaway comment. He said, "Is it from outer space or something like that?"
Right, something
Yeah.
like that, but
There was that comment.
someone
There
else
was the
comment
plants
about him
were
about
killing
he's a
people
real science.
Whoa,
guy.
one
while
at a
he
time.
wasn't there.
Right,
He-
time.
the
Let
plants
Brian be
killed
talking.
people while he wasn't there. So it's not him killing the people. It's definitely the plants.
Definitely the plan.
The plants are definitely alive. They are definitely killing things.
Yeah.
So he can't be quite the nutter.
Like crazy, right?
Well,
Also, didn't someone
nutters
make
can
make
know
some
what they're
kind of
doing.
Comment.
No,
about
He
him
obviously
being
knew
a
what he
real
was doing
science kind
to
of guy?
make the.
With the typical schizophrenic, they can imagine themselves doing something else while
Yeah.
they're doing something. A good example of this
Way to live.
It's not. It's not.
Well,
movie,
one at a time,
Brian.
please.
good example of this would be in the movie what is it, Fight Club?
Yeah.
Not seen it.
Of course not.
No,
Of course.
I haven't seen it.
You need to.
You need to
You
watch
need
Fight
to,
Club.
Steve.
You need to watch
You
that
have to watch that
Shatner
tonight.
thing we put up on Shatner singing Pulp. Common People.
Seen it.
Yeah, it's good.
Watch it.
Yeah, I've
It's on
seen
my
Fight
Facebook
Club.
line.
I'm one up on you.
Right, I want to move us on, if I may, please. Has anybody not? No, you've all had a chat, haven't you? And a rant, which I've really appreciated your rants this evening. Thank you. It's the effort. That's what I appreciate. The effort. Yes. Next week, we're looking at an Out of the Unknown story called Suckerbait. Not sure what it's about. I've seen it. I've obviously seen it.
The earliest term for catfishing isn't it?
Suckerbait. I don't know. We shall see.
Isn't that something that you require a credit card to watch?
Oh God.
Only in New York. A whole lot of
That's
pocket
wrong.
change, yeah. Silver dollars or something.
That's wrong. Hang on. That's wrong. Is that right?
Go, Ghosty, go.
I know. We'll do that.
There he goes. Come on, can you make it on the couch,
There we
buddy?
go.
Do you need help?
He did it. He did it.
That's a good boy, Ghost.
Doggy, good doggy. So next week we're looking at Heaven Sent.
Maybe 13.
No, we're not.
Or 14.
No, we're not. You're quite right. I'm so very sorry, Brian. Yeah, I'm old. I can't help it. My memory's shot to fuck.
In part of a sea devil, the
We're
leg
looking
end.
at a leg end of the sea devil, which is
Just the
probably
leg
feed
end.
to those plants.
Not any other ones.
It's fish. So Legend of the Sea Devils, which I'm really
Spoilers.
looking forward to, if I'm honest with you. The Suckerbait from Out of the Unknown.
Sucker bait.
The Firefly episode, I think, is the one that
Safe.
Brian's been waiting for.
No.
It's not.
No,
What is it?
Not yet.
Safe.
Safe. Okay. And I'm not sure what the big finish is. It might be the new First Doctor stuff. We'll have to wait and see.
No, make sure you write it down.
Remember, feel sorry for Stephen Noonan. He's probably going to have to put up with me being by his side for a whole day.
Oh, that poor man.
Well, it's better than being stuck with Paco for the whole day.
That's true. That is true. You realise he's going to go away from here and weep quietly, don't you?
No, it's not.
Oh,
Stephen
come on, then,
Noonan is
let
not
us
the
at
show.
least have this picture, will you?
Stephen Noonan's not on this show. He's not going to go away and weep quietly.
I'm talking about you.
Don't weep quietly. I bawl like a baby, goddammit.
Oh,
Owns his
dear.
weeping.
I ugly cry. That's right.
Ugly cry. That's the best way to go. You
Don't
know what
say it,
surprised me as
Siobhan.
being an ugly
Don't say it.
crier? The girl who plays Wonder Woman, Gal Gadot, in that movie, she cried some movie. I'm like, wow, she's an ugly crier.
I have to watch her in the new one.
And you thought
what
my
was it?
tangents
Death on
were
the Nile?
bad.
Oh my god, I was so
think-
shocked. She was such an ugly crier. I went, oh my god, wow.
Worst,
that's horrifying.
worst ugly crier was, I think, Tobey Maguire in one of the Spider-Man films.
Oh,
I thought
he's a
Barry
very-
was
Oh,
quite
oh,
good.
he's-
right,
he's
yeah.
horrible.
Oh,
He's an
terribly,
ugly
really
crier.
horrifically ugly crier. Yeah.
Right, anyway, moving on. This Friday, we have, at 9 p.m. UK time, 4 p.m. Eastern, two fan dinosaurs looking at episodes 3 and 4 of Doctor Who and the Dinosaur. Sorry, I was going to say Doctor Who and Dinosaur Invasion again. It's not. It's Doctor Who and the Doctor Who and the
That's a
Solarians and the
Doctor
Cave
episode I want
Monsters.
to see.
We will be doing the Dinosaur Invasion at some stage, or Invasion of the Dinosaurs. And I mean on the main show.
Blow the planet up again. Who cares if you kill a bunch of sleaze stacks?
So I don't know. It might be the, it might be the new First Doctor stuff. We also got whatever it was that Brian said the Firefly episode was. We've got Sucker Thingy for Out of the Unknown. And yeah, that's it basically. And then the week after, I think, 1st of May, somewhere around there. I'm not sure. I think that's going to be our Nigel Neal special, and we'll have Toby Haydock on, and we're all going to be on bestest behaviour, children. We have a guest.
Are we?
We are. And just for once, I'd like it to go right when it comes to Toby. Every time I ask Toby to do something, I manage to screw it up somehow. He must just think I'm the greatest fuck-up going. He really must. And yet he still says yes, bless him. So, you know.
This is Auntie's man crush, just so you know. The man she has a crush on.
No. I find men repulsive, remember?
That would be Stephen Noonan.
It's professional interest only. Thank
That's
you very
Tom
much.
Baker. Don't get that straight, you. It's Tom Baker.
I've met him. I spent
She's
2.5
not Tom
hours
Baker.
in his
He
company,
lies about it a lot, but
just talking. Or he was doing the talking.
Never met
he was
him.
talking. You were fantasizing. I saw the tape.
I'm being good.
I'm sorry, there is evidence.
I'm being good. I just want that noted for the record.
I know exactly what you're going to say. No, stop it, prevert.
I haven't said
I
that.
don't care you were thinking it.
I'll think it all day long. Say it, Brian. Say it.
It's okay. It can be read.
Right.
The
So,
scripts will be published after this.
there will be transcripts. No, they won't. Sorry, we can't say
always
that
be transcripts.
because people have asked if we could do transcripts,
asked for scripts.
and
Unfortunately,
yeah, that's exactly what I
security
thought. How the
is really
hell
good about
would you do
getting the
that?
scripts and atomizing them before we can release them to the public.
The people that asked you
That's
for the
correct.
transcript, you know where they're from, don't you?
Future historians.
Future.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
They've
I would
come
love to
back
get
in
the
time to ask you for the
historians.
Hang on.
Somewhere.
Script.
Somewhere
What?
there is a library of every single episode of this show in every single version, and there's books written, there's theses written on the topic. I tell you, it's in some universities it's taught.
Mm-hmm.
You see, I'm a little bit
In many,
concerned
actually, it's mandatory.
about
These are
how
mandatory classes.
history is going to treat me, if I'm honest with
There
you.
are entire treaties on Spanky alone.
Yes.
There's entire colleges and universities devoted to the.
branches of psychology devoted to Spanky alone because of this.
Yeah, there's entire different schools of thought. You know, is he insane? Is he acting? What's going on? You know.
There's all that. There's
Not to mention all
also the
distance
fact
to Geneva
that
Convention,
they've
right?
actually built an island off Africa, and the cult of Sinister exists there, and it's quite frankly proving problematic to the future historians.
Yeah, because it works.
Yeah, that's just it.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll just
according
be glad to be just a side note for the future historians.
Oh,
to-
no, Reddit.
Oh, no,
It's a
no.
prominent spot.
You're on the blade
The
now.
future
You want it
historians,
on.
I'm still
I'm
alive
afraid
in
you're
the future,
stuck.
and they don't know how to deal with it.
It's just Spanky I can't work
replaced
out how to get
Flying
rid of.
Spaghetti monster in the future.
Yeah. But 50,000 years from now, I still refuse to discuss where we got the scripts from. I promise.
There are people who have modelled their homes after Brian's abode and are arguing. There have been wars fought over what colour his curtains really are.
Exactly.
What's the bit
Religion.
behind there? What
You see,
color are those
religion.
blinds? Right,
It's always a
exactly.
trouble.
Future archeologists have gone on
Is it white with
quests
red
to
stripes or
find
red with
my
white stripes?
remaining Transformer
was the
collection.
One at a time. Spanky, go on.
No, I was just making a Red Dwarf reference. Is the canopy on the hot dog cart or whatever, the icy cart, is it white with
Yeah.
red stripes or red with white stripes?
What colour were the hats? Yeah.
We're
It's
going.
just like, there it is.
We will see you either next Friday or next Sunday. I'm not sure when the next RPG is. I'm guessing it might be next Saturday. I don't know.
I thought there was a moratorium on your RPG on the basis that all the RPGs are required for Ukraine.
Shit. He's right.
What's going on?
Our RPG has taken out many a tank column.
Yeah. Can
Oh,
you
that's
send
what
it to
Ella's
him?
doing.
Yeah. Okay.
I blame Ella.
I would like to be in Ukraine with my old TOW missile setup.
No, you wouldn't. Look at the fucking state of you now.
Aren't toes wire
I'd be in the
guided?
vehicle though, because I was a TOW gunner. I
Yeah,
commanded a
and
squad
you
at
still
that
got
Humvee,
injured over there.
and I blew things up. Yeah, I'd get blown up again for that.
Oh,
Just for a chance to fucking blow up some of these guys.
Aren't toes wire guided?
Yes, they are. TOW
You don't
stands
need
for
those
Tube
anymore.
Launch Optically Tracked Armed Command Guided Missile.
Javelins and N-laws are both fire and forget. You don't need you don't need wire guided anymore.
Well, you can evade some of those with fancy maneuvering. The
Yeah, but-
difference is with
yeah,
the
but-
TOW, as long as the
But
gunner
the
can keep the
Russians.
crosshairs on you, you will get hit by the missile.
It's the Russians. They're not evading them with fancy equipment or fancy
That's
maneuvers.
correct. They are not evading anything, as a matter of
They
fact.
use
That's
potato.
But if you notice, every piece of armor out there has reactive armor on it. You see these little
Yeah.
plates like this all over the outsides of the tanks and things, and it doesn't seem to be doing any good because
No,
they're getting shit blown out of them anyway.
because both the Javelin and the N-law go for a top attack profile.
They go in and over like the Fall Gem, right? Mhm.
And
Right
it's
before
like-
it hits, it pops
and
up and goes nose
and-
down on top of the turret.
Even the cages they're welding on top of the tanks are doing absolutely
Yeah.
nothing to stop
Stop it,
them.
right? No,
Well, from
because
what I've heard, when the
an
tractors
air 12 on
attack,
all supercharged
they
warhead will
tackle
focus
the
to steel,
tank
so-
and flip it over to its vulnerable side, and then they go for its throat and cut off its windpipe.
Oh,
That's exactly what
okay. I
happened.
get it.
Forgive me, I was
Thanks,
enjoying that
Paco.
because I know obviously Spanky, having served, knows his weapons, but Sinister used to be a writer for Armchair General. and he knows his weapons. So I thought I'd just sit back and listen to this because this could be good.
I just know Transformers, so I'm making tank tractors.
I just need
jokes.
clicky eyes.
Right, we're going. Say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Jesus, Bod. See you next Friday.
I say hello, I say goodbye, 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 goodbye.
You've got to fight for what you want, for all that you believe. It's right to fight for what we want, to live the way we please. As long as we have done our best, then no one can do more. And life and love and happiness are well worth fighting for. They're well worth fighting for.
You could flee across all of time and space and all the universe. John Levine would still find you.
He's good like
Ba 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 ba. Yeah, all right. I played the wrong fucking file. That's